What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another interview here today on my channel. I once again have another former mysterious artist here today who I'm going to interview. This one is a very interesting one because it was only a 30-second snippet of a weird and unidentified laughing song that was an internet mystery for about 2 years. It was eventually solved and was discovered that the song isn't called Maniac Laugh by a gentleman named Jonny Cohen, who I have here today going to interview. So everyone watching and everyone listening, please give a warm welcome to the chess master from hell, the man with the maniac laugh, Mr. Jonny Cohen. Jonny, thank you for your time.
Sure.
Alrighty, yeah. So I'm super excited. Like I said off camera, been listening to your
You
music.
wanted me to talk about the Maniac Laugh?
We're gonna get to that. What I'm gonna
Okay.
do, the way I'm gonna lay this interview out is we're gonna start kind of like from the beginning, like who you are, how the Love Machine band formed, and then we'll like lean into the maniac laugh. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, so starting off with the first question here, I got 8 here, or excuse me, 9. I'm not worried about plowing through them, just as long as the conversation's good, that's all that matters to me. So if we don't get through all of them, it's not a big deal. We'll start off with the first question. Tell us about yourself. Who is Jonny Cohen?
In 87, I was about 24 years old. I had serious depression. That's about the best I can explain it. I had a hard time communicating with people. I was very withdrawn. I did go out and get jobs and things like that, even though I didn't feel well. And I lived in this group house where people were musical.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if this person, Carl Stivers, lived there. I started singing songs a cappella. Carl thought we should form a band. He had this friend, Pete Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
who was a really good guitarist. And we found this drummer who was about 10 years older than us, Ken Rudd. We practiced in this group house at first. Before the band formed, I would just sing the songs a cappella. I would just go up to people and sing the songs, and I would sing them too much. And I thought the songs were like better than my personality. So that's why I would sing the songs. And I wanted to have a rock band, even though not all the songs were conducive to rock. So we formed this band and we played at DC Space. And that was a famous venue. I think it closed in like 1994,
Mm-hmm.
but it had been open for like 20 years, I think. And this person, Cynthia Connolly, who was tied in with Ian MacKaye and Discord Records, booked the place. So she would have us regularly, and it was hard for us to get gigs because we were, I don't know, we were this band with a weird singer. We were kind of 60s sounding band. And we didn't really fit real well with the independent scene, even though we kind of did, because in our own way, I think we were really weird.
It's kind of funny how you were too independent for independent music. I mean, honestly, if that's not the definition of independent music, indie rock as we know it, what the hell is? And
Yeah.
As someone who has my own mental problems as well, I hope that in today's day you are doing better mentally. Like I said, as someone who I also deal with forms of depression, things like that. I know that music and art is a good way of expressing and releasing some of that tension or some of anxiety. It helps. It's therapeutic. So was that when you were in that group house that you lived and everyone was musically, did that help with your mental state?
Yes, it did, because my confidence was very low. And all of a sudden, I just started to sing these songs. And people liked them. It really did help me. And the songs, I think the songs were very introverted, and they had a lot of meaning. They were very deep. A lot of the songs I wanted them to be funny, but I was kind of out of it. So I tried to be funny, but I wasn't always that funny. And I think some of the songs were like performance art. And I think Maniac Laugh is kind of like performance art.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that could have been a legitimate rock song. I wanted us to put it on our first album, but We didn't get to it. And I think maybe Pete thought it was too weird. Um,
Well, to be fair, when it was Mysterious, it was considered the weird, unidentified haha song. So you definitely got the weird part down. But in my opinion, I think it was a good way because I couldn't get enough of the song first time I heard it. And I still can't get enough because I just love how like weird it is. It has like this. Do you remember that artist from the '60s, Napoleon? I think the 16th. He made that song. They're coming to take me away.
yes, I
Haha.
know that song.
Sounds it's like something he made. It sounds same
Yeah.
kind of vibe. And like funny enough, my dad showed me that song. I played him your song, and that was the first thing he said. It was like, "Is that by that Napoleon guy from the '60s?" I'm like, "No, but it sounds like it, right?" You mentioned your first album, excuse me, voice crack, and you also mentioned like your songs having a good sense of humor. I can see it, and I dig it. Like for example, if you listen to the song like "Cool Bomb," it has like a
Well,
sinister tone to it. Like, and I get,
I should tell you something about Cool Bomb.
go ahead.
First of all, some of the songs are actually very emotional and very like Time Loop. It's kind of a funny song
Mm,
because it's about someone being caught in a time loop, and so that's kind of a gimmick. But that's also about when I was in high school, I hurt my shoulder in wrestling, and when I was 18, and that was very traumatic.
mm.
So Time Loop is kind of about not being able to get over that.
Right,
So
because you were hindered from like doing something like wrestling because of your injury, and that could,
and yeah, and it was also about. I think it was also about being held back by being mentally ill. So, but anyway, Cool Bomb. Carl Stivers, the bass player, wrote Cool Bomb. He was okay with me singing it because he kind of felt like it kind of fit my mystique. So I heard him. He gave me a recording of it, and I memorized it. I didn't sing it like him. He sang more like Canned Heat, and he had
Mm-hmm.
a prettier voice than me. And but one other song in you can tell that this is not by me because I didn't sing it. No Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
I was gonna say that. I was like, that's definitely a different vocalist. I don't know who it was. Was that Carl?
That was Pete. He was the guitarist,
Hmm.
and that kind of fits in too because it's funny.
Right, yeah, and Time Loop, No Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Like I think the sense of humor is there, but also you also do a good job of like telling serious songs like Cool Bomb, Desperate Nikki, which funny enough, my name is Nikki, so I was like,
Yeah.
dang it. I'm like, oh God. So, but I again like listening to your first album, it has that good diversity while also keeping it rocking. So you definitely did a good job forming the rock band. These albums were on Teen Beat. That was the label. How did you link up with Teen Beat?
Okay, that's a good story. It was before the band started playing. We were practicing. Mark Robinson, in my group house, there was a person who had parties. His name was Bill Hankey. And Mark Robinson played at a party, and I gave him a tape of I'm Not an Anorexic. He liked it. There's a really good version of Mark playing guitar on I'm Not an Anorexic on the internet. It's Jonny Cohen and Mark Robinson. So if people want to find that. He invited my band to play at WMUC, the Maryland radio station. So that might have been our first gig. So that's how we hooked up with Teen Beat. And then he put out the record, the eponymous first record, Jonny Cohen's Love Machine.
So your first gig scores you a deal with the label Teen Beat, which screams indie. Like there's no way you were too indie for that because like the website, just the name Teen Beat has a very indie sound. So cool. You score a record.
Teen Beat was it was kind of a popular underground, way underground label. So it wasn't really really well known, but it was an underground, well-known label. And the band Unrest was a very popular band underground. And that was on Teen Beat.
Was it mainly in like the DC, Maryland area, or was this like a nationwide kind of like underground label?
I think he did mostly in the DC area.
Kind of going off of your records, your albums. I haven't listened to everything that you have. I've listened to the first record, Getting Our Heads Back Together, and A Quiet Reminder. And like I said earlier, your style, different songs have a lot of different flavors. Some of them are funny, some of them are emotional, some of them have a sinister sound to them. And I just wanted to ask, as someone who has a lot of different flavors in their writing, tracks can be haunting like The Vulture, or they can be funny like The Repairman. What is your process when it comes to writing a song?
Sometimes I came up with music first, and sometimes I came up with words first. Most of the time, I wanted them to be funny, but that wasn't always the case.
You said like sometimes you do the music first, sometimes you do the lyrics first. Did it depend on if the song was going to be funny or not? Was it just like either or could kind of happen?
Yeah, if the music was funny, then I would try to make the song funny. Yeah. And I would come up with the songs. I would put them into a recorder, and now I do it into the I do it into my iPhone.
Gotta
So
love these things.
yeah. So I do it in a very simple way. And another thing about the music is when I first did songs, I was really inspired. And I think later on, I wasn't so inspired, but I went back to school. I got my English major. I learned how to write. I got a writing degree. The later songs were more sophisticated and maybe less spontaneous. I don't know.
Hmm. And
But
when you say like later songs, you're talking about like On a Quiet Reminder, which came out I think in 2016.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Compared to songs like Maniac Laugh.
Right. Because
Yeah,
I
that's just totally over the top, totally spontaneous.
that actually was going to lead into my next question because when I was looking at the Teen Beat website, I saw that you from 1997 to 2016 there was a break from albums, being released. So I was going to ask, like, were you taking a break from just making music and performing at that time? Was this when you were going back to school?
Well, what happened was, I don't know. I just broke up the band. I just thought I don't know, we were just not being as successful as everybody would have liked. I was in charge of the band at this time. And then Pete, the guitarist, got the band back together in like 2013. He got some different lineups together. So we put out a record in 2017. I think that's a really good record. So we're putting out another one. It's called Clam Bake Fiasco. And we have 3 songs that you can see on Bandcamp.
Oh, Bandcamp. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can see 3 of the songs on Bandcamp. And that's Here Come the Robots, Clam Bake Fiasco.
By the way, I
and-
love the name of some of your songs. Like, I don't know, just like they have like a good just like vibe to them. Like, Clam Bake Fiasco. Christ, what was another one? There's one off of like the We're Getting Back Together, Getting Our Heads Back Together. Regardless, I like the like long. It kind of reminds me of like Budgie, like the classic rock band. They always were known for like long, weird, interesting names. And I think you also do that pretty well as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
Mark one time said some of my songs are just cliches. Some of my lyrics, some of my titles are cliches, but I just think it hits the mark. But yeah, some of my songs, Mark said they don't sound like song titles.
like
So,
Clam Bake Fiasco.
yeah, that
Here Come the Robots.
doesn't sound like a song title.
Sounds like it sounds like an album title though. Definitely Clam Bake Fiasco. And like the photo that we have of it right here, it's like a bonfire or something. Was that just you guys just cooking a fire in the wood?
Yeah, that's on Bandcamp. That's Pete just posted something that he got from the internet.
Mm.
So and we have a Jonny Cohen Love Machine Facebook site.
Yeah,
I think one thing about the band that like you have songs that are mystery songs and things like that is I don't know. I think we're pretty unnoticed, even though we get some hits, but I think we're not real noticed. We played at some we played at like DC Space, and that was kind of a nice place to play, but we never played at really big venue places. Although we came close to having some really big shows, but I think we were just we were busy with other things in our lives, and so we never tried to make it big time, I think.
Right. Because like time management definitely got in the way. It's like, because some of these bands, if they want to get big, they gotta not only just play in local gigs, they gotta like fight for their life to go on tour, little buses, crappy hotel rooms, and like sometimes that could all be for nothing if they don't even make it. So it's a lot to really like just go for. You got to give up virtually everything.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah, there's that's not always a bad thing. You definitely now, because of Maniac Laugh, have like a cult following now, myself included, who enjoy your work, who've not only listened to that song, but have also gone on and listened to your other parts of your discography and have enjoyed it. And right here in the interview, you mentioned that there's going to be a new album coming soon, so I guarantee we're pretty excited for that. I want to touch on something you said earlier. You said the word success. Now, I want to get into Maniac Laugh, if that's okay.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I want to talk about Maniac Laugh.
Alrighty. So, you got a little success probably in the weirdest way possible. It kind of flipped it on its head, everything we thought we knew about music, because your song got known because of how unknown it is. And a little backstory about how this song came online. A YouTuber who goes by the name Mark has a YouTube channel called Most Mysterious 90s. He uploads snippets of songs that he recorded from Portland radio back in the 90s that he didn't catch the name of. One of them was a 30-second snippet of Maniac Laugh. He uploaded it in 2020. For 2 years, could not identify it. It garnered, as of right now, 15,000 views. There have been a number of other channels that have re-uploaded that snippet of the song, requesting its identification. December 3rd, 2022, he identifies the track himself when looking on discogs and coming across Indian Giver. And he sees the words, "I took a woman to dinner," because that's the snippet he got. And he was like, holy shit, I just found the song. And come to find out, it was Maniac Laugh by none other than Jonny Cohen. So then my question is, what is the backstory behind this song? And was it intentionally supposed to be creepy? Because you mentioned that you want a lot of your songs to be funny.
Yeah. This is one of my early songs. I think my early songs are some of my best songs. I wanted it to be a rock song. I wanted it to be funny, but I was kind of out of touch. So I think this song, as hard as I try to be funny, it comes out as a weird song. So I think when the Love Machine took a hiatus after the first record, Mark Robinson, the Team Beat person, took me to Pittsburgh, and this person, Frank Bosco, played ukulele. Whoever was doing the studio did this weird reverb. So I probably would have preferred for it not to be so weird, but it's okay. So
they reverb up the wazoo, because listening to other songs, your vocals on that song sound nothing like any other song. Maybe like Chess Master from Hell when you do like a little bit of a deeper voice, because like in your regular songs, you kind of sound like how you're talking, whereas you hear Maniac Laugh, it sounds like, "I took a woman to dinner," and I'm like, that sounds nothing like Jonny. What happened?
Well, I do different caricatures in a lot of my songs,
right?
But yeah, it's pretty rare that people do the reverb stuff and stuff like that. So they usually do it pretty straight. So this person, Frank Bosco, did some bands. He was Win Factor 14 and Vehicle Flips, and Win Factor 14 I really liked. They did funny songs, and he played, I guess it was a toy ukulele, or I don't really know. That's the only person who I know who was involved with it. And then there's the person who put reverb on it. Another thing about that song is I think my Santa Claus line, where I try to be a Santa Claus, I think I thought of that later. I did it in that recording, but after I wrote the song, I think I came up with that verse after I wrote the song. And the point behind the song is when When I was a kid, I doubted myself. I think sometimes that comes off on people, and they don't feel as comfortable talking to you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the idea behind the song. I do a lot of songs where I kind of do a metaphor for a simple idea that is funnier.
So the background for this song kind of came from experience where if you listen to the lyrics, the full song, you can tell it's a funny song just because of the whatchamacallit. Hold on, sorry, I just got a Zoom pop up where you can tell it was a funny song just based off the lyrics because, you know, you took a woman to dinner, she told a little joke, she looked like she hit a mine because you start laughing and she's like, whoa. Same thing with the Santa Claus. They wanted to hear her laugh. That turned out the light. So
yeah, that's the funniest verse, I think.
You can see the humor in the song because a lot of people, when it got identified, when they heard the full song, they were saying this isn't as creepy as we thought it was going to be. Because when they heard just the line, "I took a woman to dinner," they were thinking, "God, this could be like Joker's theme. What, did he kill her or something?" But then when it was just she told a joke, they're like, "Oh, okay, this is just a little kind of like nuanced, you know, a little savant kind of song." So, you know, people were not as creeped out when they heard the full song. Plus, a lot of the creepy factor came from the fact that it was mysterious. Like, I'll be honest, the first time I heard this song, I was unnerved, but I couldn't get enough of it. It was so interesting. There were not many songs that had like a Tiny Tim kind of sound. But when it got identified, it was like, yes, we got it. Have you, by any chance, seen my music video that I made before I sent you it via email? Have you watched
Yeah,
that?
I did see it. I like it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
I'm going to show it to people.
Yes, let's go. I appreciate it.
I think it comes off better than I could make it come off. So.
I mean, listen, the majority of the work is on you, sir. The song, I don't know why my voice keeps cracking. It's the song that does most of the work. I just sat in front of my like living room over there. I put some paper, I made some drawings, made some ha-has in the background, and I just hit record on, you know, my iPhone. That was kind of it. I borrowed my friend's ukulele. I was like, "Hey Miguel, you know that one laughing song I like?" And he's like, "Yes." Need to borrow your ukulele. I need to make a music video for it. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and you know, super glad to, you know, be sitting here talking to you. Coming across now, you're finding out that channels are re-uploading your song. The initial upload got almost 15,000 views. What's your reaction to that? How do you feel that thousands of people have heard your song and were, you know, on such a great quest to try to identify it?
Well, I hope we can get some shows. We have trouble getting shows, so yeah, that's the biggest thing. I like to make friends.
Once I upload this interview, I'm going to upload it everywhere because there's a Discord server. I don't know if you know what Discord is. There's a Discord server that was dedicated to, like, you know, uploading mysterious songs and whatnot. When this was identified, you know, everyone in like...
Does that have to do with the Discord label, or is that totally unrelated?
No, well, Discord, like the app, there was a Discord server that's like known for, you know, trying to find and whatnot mysterious songs, and there was a certain section of the mysterious Discord server that was dedicated to Mark's YouTube channel because he has a few other unknown songs still at the moment. And when this was identified, he uploaded it everywhere on the Discord server. That's how I found out. And you know, yeah.
Well, was Bad Driver and Frontal Lobotomy, were they mystery songs too?
No. So the term mysterious song it's kind of broad. It's like, in order for a song to be mysterious, it has to be, people have to be searching for it. Like, it had to be uploaded. No one knows the name of it at the time before it was identified. Frontal Lobotomy, Bad Driver, and Indian Giver.
Indian Giver was known because we did a recording of it.
Right, so it wasn't mysterious. It was out there. It was available. It's just at the time, Maniac Laugh wasn't really available, and so, you know, it was considered a mystery song for a while, just because no one who was searching for it could identify it. Obviously, people out there knew it, like you, Frank Bosco. Did you ever perform that song live by any chance?
I think at some shows I sang it a cappella. When I was first getting the band together, I wanted the band to do that song, so I had this person, Matt Shortridge, do an arrangement for the song. Yeah, that was never done, really. Yeah, so I just sang it a cappella sometimes, not too often, probably.
Not too often, kind of like a so.
Because I was embarrassed by it.
I don't be embarrassed. People loved this song. They loved the, like, you know. I think you did a cool thing. It was like this song that, like, no one could get enough of, but they couldn't identify it. And
I think it's relatable too. It's just about being insecure.
yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included, could have that feeling where like we just feel like such an outsider. We try to do things that to other people would be normal, like taking a woman out to dinner, like trying to sit home and read a book. Your neighbors, they think you're abhorrent, your dog doesn't like you. And it's like, what the hell? Like, come on here, for God's sake, Genuinely, I think it's a good song. I enjoy it. I think the humor in it is there. And a lot of people do enjoy it. So, even if it's not exactly what you wanted it to be,
that's the way it always is.
Mm,
Every song is not what you want it to be.
that's it's the struggle of a lot of artists. Like when I upload my videos, myself included. If I when we record something or make something, it sounds so good in our head, right? But then,
well, it's kind of good. It's kind of good that it's not what you want it to be. It makes it interesting.
It does. It's like, ooh, okay, this wasn't what I thought, but here, let's go with this.
Yeah, so, it's art.
Exactly. Yeah, you just go with it. There's no like really rules to it. Alrighty, here, last two questions. So you mentioned that an album's coming out. Let me get the name. Clam Bake Fiasco is going to be the name of the album, also a name of one of the songs on there. So you've gotten some insight as to what Love Machine or what you, Jonny Cohen, are doing. My question is, what are the next steps for Jonny Cohen? Like, what is your future looking like going forward?
Well, we're going to try to do some more songs. We'll probably slow down a little bit. And I still have a good number of songs, and we'll slowly try to move forward. We're in a good groove. We're happy with the last two records. Pete's doing a good job of being in charge. So we're in a really good groove. And we're still in good standing with Mark Robinson, the head of Team Beat. So and maybe this Maniac Laugh thing will get us going a little bit, because we have a hard time getting shows and things like that.
Yeah, I'll make sure to do my part of spreading not only this, interview, but, making sure we can get some notice out there. I know that a lot of the people in the Discord server, if you were to do a show in maybe one of their local areas, they'd probably be interested in going. I don't know where you are right now, but I live in Rhode Island. So if you ever came in this area, I see you live. I get some people to go see you.
Well, we live in the kind of DC area. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, us traveling would be hard to do, but if there was enough motivation, maybe we would do it.
Right, yeah. And you got to make sure you promote. You say you have a Bandcamp, you got a Facebook. Have you ever thought about making an official Instagram page for the Love Machine?
I'll bring that up to Pete.
I know, like right now, if you want marketing, obviously you don't have to do this because I'm not a big fan of it, but TikTok, that's a big app right now that everyone's using. That's a good way to get marketing. But also Instagram is still really big as well. You can make an official Instagram account, follow a bunch of people, have them follow you back, post on there when you're doing shows. That's one way to get things going. Trying to be interactive on social media. You don't have to be internet savvy, but if you can get if you're on multiple social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, that always helps as well.
Yeah, we got a little bit of action with TikTok with this song called "Addicted to Chapstick."
Yes, I was listening to that song today. I enjoy that song. I enjoy that song quite a bit. I once again, the humor in it, unbeatable. Last question now, then. We'll wrap this up here. This is coming from the original person who recorded this song back in Portland in '94. His name is Mark, like I mentioned earlier. His question is to you, Jonny. What advice would you give to aspiring songwriters?
The way I've done it is I had a vision and I stuck to it. But I had a lot of luck. This person, Pete, he's very talented. This person, Mark Robinson, he's very talented. Were interested in me. But I would also tell people, learn an instrument at a young age. I wish I did that. Do something that's your own, write songs. Yeah, don't do covers, write your own songs and stuff like that. And, that's how you can have a lot of fun and get popular.
And there you have it. Do your own music. Don't be a Nazareth and make nothing but covers. Don't be an old British blues band. Definitely do your own work. I love that because nothing wrong with it, in my opinion, but I think there's some bands who do way too many covers. Like, let's have some original material. So I love that motto. And then
But also, there's nothing wrong with I trained myself as a writer. There's nothing wrong with getting good at what you do. There's nothing wrong with getting good at your instrument. But anyway.
Right. And you don't have to be young. It doesn't matter what age.
No, you don't have to be young.
Just go for it.
I'm still doing it, and I'm not young anymore. So
well, there you have it. Doesn't matter what age. Young is forever. Just keep doing what you're doing and have confidence in what you're doing. So, Mr. Jonny Cohen.
And you can start at any time.
Exactly. You know, you started at what, 24, you said?
Yeah.
And you're still going strong today. And God bless you. We're going to wrap this up here. Once again, Jonny Cohen, I really appreciate you here for your time. I had a great conversation today. I love the insight you gave. I had a great conversation with you. I think we had a great time. And really appreciate your time once again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Okay, when should this be on the internet?
Great question. I was actually going to hope you didn't just hop off. So, you know, I would just, because I'm actually right now working on another video, which is like talk about what is mysterious.
I saw your 2 videos that were on there. I really enjoyed them.
The other interviews?
Yeah, the other interviews.
Yeah, those were other former mysterious bands as well. I recommend checking them out as well. They're really cool. So I'm currently working on another video. So I'm going to work on that video while on this video. Give me about like, I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll have it up there. And I'll email you once it's up there, and you can show that to everyone and get that going.
Okay.